Well, hi there, everybody, and welcome once again to another video of the battle for a healthy voice. That's what this is all about. Giving you a healthy voice that's comfortable to sing with, that gives you years and years of singing, possibly an entire lifetime, gives you an expanded range. I have one student who can sing over 5 octaves when she's healthy, and she sings pure bel canto. So, healthy voice. Well, this particular video deals with how much water should you drink to keep your voice healthy, or quite honestly, to keep your body hydrated. And why is it important to use a humidifier? Okay.
I'm here.
I forgot to introduce our
He does this sometimes.
podcast host and our director, none other than Sunny Go.
Sometimes David gets so excited he forgets that I'm here.
And you could put that in, that'd be fine. I think it's good. You know, here I am on the stage, and I forget I got somebody I'm working with.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the Battle for a Healthy Voice. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We've had a lot of you subscribe, which is always so exciting.
Oh, we're so
for David
excited.
And I.
Many of you love the Christina Aguilera, and we have almost 100 subscribers in less than a week that have been added.
Isn't that crazy?
It's
All we had
just
to do is
great.
tell them how to subscribe.
That's right.
Which we literally did in our last video.
People my age go, how do you subscribe? And so many people my age were going, introduction to the healthy voice.
Yeah.
I watched that.
Yeah.
Now I've subscribed.
Yeah, so you have to hit the subscribe button and then also hit that little bell next to it.
Why?
Because that will notify you when we release new videos.
Oh, what a thing that I just forgot about that she told me 2 times. You know, it's great being 72. We didn't even have computers when I was a kid. You know, I mean, if you wanted to listen to something, hear yourself record, not this, folks. Big TAC, double, weighs about 75 pounds, 2-inch, hook up the mic, you know.
Oh, I remember some of those big video cameras. They're all tiny and stuff now, but...
Yeah. Okay, so why do you hydrate through a humidifier? Well, first of all, let me say, I have been to many professional ear, nose, and throat specialists, which we call ENTs. I've been to people in Spokane, in New York, and in France. All of them say the same thing. They're trained the same way. Yeah. You need to drink a minimum of 6 to 8 ounces of water every waking hour. And when you go to sing, before you begin to warm up your voice, should be awake a minimum of 2 hours before you're speaking or even warming up to sing. And you should have no less than 64 ounces of water in your system. Well, hey, I drink a 64-ounce pop. That'll do it.
Oh, boy.
No, it won't. Caffeine,
Oh, that sugar.
Yeah. I'm forever blowing bubbles. The sugar will create glucose and sticky mucus.
And you'll burp constantly.
Oh, yeah, constantly burp. And the caffeine dries your bands out. Nope. And in the old school, they used to say, hey, a couple of shots of whiskey with my water. You know, those of you who like to enjoy alcohol, that's fine. But don't expect that to help you to sing better. Now we go back to pure, good old H2O. So you got to drink 68 ounces of water, glass of water, every waking hour. Now, you're warming up your voice, so 2 hours before you warm up your voice, you've had 64 ounces of water.
Wow.
Moving on. Why do we have a humidifier when we sing? Going to Las Vegas, there is an older singer that many of you don't know about, who, by the way, was so touched by the COVID lockdown that he began to produce concerts weekly
I was
on his
watching
YouTube.
those. You told me about those. Yeah.
Neil Sedaka.
Yeah.
Neil Sedaka still has a pretty darn good voice in his mid-80s.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he's 86, and he still sounds kind of like he's maybe 40, 45. Why is that? Is it because he sang pure bel canto? Well, yes and no. He did use some compression as a rock singer, and he was considered rock in his time, pop rock.
The
he
50s. It was the
in
50s
the 50s
rock.
and
Yeah.
early 60s.
Okay.
But Neil used a humidifier on stage in the days where they had a microphone cord. He had 2 cords to his mic, and nobody ever thought a thing about it. He had a vaporizer or a pump humidifier pumping saline solution, so he's going like this. Don't take your love away from me. And he'd press the button and it would release mist and he'd suck it into his throat.
Really?
Because in Vegas they run air conditioning all the time.
Well, and it's the air's so dry.
And it's so dry.
Yeah.
Well, why is it dry? Because air conditioning removes moisture from the air. What does the voice need for it to sing well? It needs moisture. Moisture is water. Condensation produces rain, but there is a percentage of moisture droplets, water droplets in the air produced by a humidifier. That's what he did. And guess what? When I did my first major solo concert in Spokane, Washington, called the Everyman Musical Show, some of you folks might remember it from 1974, I used a mist machine backstage. I didn't have the money to run a cord, but I'd go back every time someone, I'd had it set up so someone would come out and perform, and I'd go back and sit on that thing going...
So your face is right in it.
That's right in it.
And is it cool mist or warm mist?
Well, it's more warm mist is best.
Is best.
Yeah, because why would you say, let's warm up the voice, and then say, give me a glass of ice water?
Okay.
And people do that all the time. Well, when you're warming up your voice, you're increasing the temperature on the vocal folds.
Okay.
So, warm mist is best.
And how long should you do that for before you start singing?
I would say that it would be a good idea to do it for 10 minutes.
Okay.
You just breathe in. And if you're someone who wears makeup, try to get one that just centralizes on your mouth, because otherwise your makeup's going to melt. And that includes men.
How considerate of you giving makeup tips.
For Broadway stage, you want to be careful of that, because it's going to just melt off your face.
That's true. Okay.
So you breathe it in. And that's why many people don't use a humidifier. When they're on stage, they use a mist bottle, like a bottle that has a spray mist, hot water with a 1/4 tablespoon of salt in a quart of water, so you can taste the salt, hot as you can stand it, not so heavy with the salt. As my dad was a master surgeon used to say, Dave, you want to moisturize your bands with saline, which imitates your spittle or your mucus. You don't want to pickle your bands, okay?
So would they actually take those spray things on stage with them? And
in the old black and white movies, you'd see it sitting on the piano wing, and they'd pick it up, they'd be going, oh, that mio mato ben. Yep.
You don't see that
at
all
and it's a mistake.
Okay.
But the thing is, most singers singing today don't recognize freely produced sound.
Right.
They're singing with heavy, thick vocal muscle steak. In fact, when they go to the high voice, as we were saying earlier in Ariana Grande, no, not Ariana, Mariah Carey, who Ariana Grande styled after, we were saying in an earlier video that today's sound, 2020, it sounds like she's using a falsetto. Well, what she's doing is she's using a less thick band approach. That's what you have to do. And remember, when you sing in the middle part of your range, that's going to give you your most band thickness. But a voice has a volume apex. And if you use it correctly, the lower you go, the quieter it gets. But to keep it clear, I have to point my sound further like a little tiny bullfrog. And as I go up, it gets a little bigger, so it isn't as pointed. And I hit my middle range, and now my throat is wide open in the top, and it's kind of like, well, a bigger throat. If you want to compare it to birds, which I use, which works pretty well for training most people, now you are an ostrich throat, but with a robin sound. Ha! Ha, and then as you go up, which mine is broken, that would be clearer, and Sunny at some point or others that take Turbo Contour will demonstrate that to you. So you continue to go up, and now it's a tiny sparrow, and then a chickadee. Woo! Now way up high, it's a hummingbird in the back of the throat. And my voice could actually go an entire octave higher, and it's broken. You can hear it's raspy, but I'll shift to my highest gear. Tiny hummingbird bee. And it would go up higher. My student, Sylvia Ruff, will be on a lesson on the 6th of April. We'll record it. You'll see it sometime in April, and you'll hear her do that correctly.
Wow. Okay. So be sure to hydrate, guys. That's the bottom line with this.
You've got to do that.
Yeah.
If you don't hydrate, and especially if you're singing in a dry room, you better have a mist machine or a bottle with hot water with saline, with salt water in it as much as you can, just till you can taste it. Don't overdo it. Don't pickle your bands. But every time you go to take a breath, pretty much, or after a long sentence, breathe it in. It won't make you choke, promise, because it imitates the voice, the body's mucus or spittle. Okay?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that information, David. Be sure to check out our website, purebelcanto.com. If you guys are interested, you can work one-on-one with David. He's doing online lessons.
And if you want to hear how I used to sound before I wrecked my voice, we have on AmericanMusicAcademy.com, which is our lesson website. Scroll down and you'll hear my wife and I sing in our early 40s.
Okay.
You can hear how it sounded.
Yeah, be sure to check them out. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you on the next video.
Hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.